Hello, you're watching Black Cat Energy Channel, video one and the same. I'm Gary Pavanelli, Tai Chi teacher, and my guests are three instructors who teach a variety of types of energy work. We're all here talking about the life force, sometimes called Chi, Prana, Ki, Ni. We're talking about how the different energy practices approach cultivating it. What is energy work? Exercise practices meant to cultivate the life force or spirit in body and mind. Do they accomplish different things? Are they all the same in the end? Is one better than the other? What can you expect out of it? We're going to cover all of these things.
I'm Karen Pavanelli. I teach yoga. My business is called Body Language LLC.
Hi, I'm Patty Jones, and I'm a certified Holden Qigong instructor, and I have a business called Emerald and Sand Qigong.
Hi, I'm Jeanette Jennings, and I've done a lot of things, but right now I'm very interested in the what I call cheese stick, which I've been practicing for 2 years only, but I have received many, many benefits, and I love it.
Karen?
I teach yoga, and I've been teaching yoga for about 20 years. Before that, I was a group fitness instructor and personal trainer. So, all in, I've been in the fitness wellness industry for about 40 years. So, long, long time discovering what works and what doesn't work. Yoga has been around for over 6,000 years. It was started by a group of men who just wanted to find a way to have a better, healthier, natural lifestyle that could do for their whole body, mind, and spirit. So, for a long, very long time, women were not allowed to participate in yoga. It was a man thing, and only men did it. And maybe women did it in secret, but they couldn't really tell anyone about it. But it when it started, and for some schools of yoga and some people who do yoga, it's still the same, but it was all about living very healthfully, keeping the right mindset. They did a lot of cleansing, they ate very healthy, they did mind practices, pranayama, which is breath control, asana, which is the poses that we do in yoga, and meditation. Meditation is a big part of it. Being in existence that long, I think it's pretty much a proven thing that it really works and that it really helps people. And I always tell people, if you can breathe, you can do yoga. Maybe you can't do the trick poses you see on social media with people standing on their heads and, doing all kinds of weird things. That's really not what yoga is about. That's never what it was intended to be. That's kind of what um, the Americanized version of yoga is. But if you can just sit and focus on your breath, and if you can move a little bit with that and meditate, you can do yoga. And you may be doing yoga in your life right now and not even realize you're doing it, because that's what it's all about. It's just a pretty natural thing. So, I wanted to get into some of the benefits of yoga. So, here we go. Um, Increased muscular strength and endurance. So it makes your muscles stronger. It makes your muscles able to work longer in a certain period of time. So it just makes you a little more easy to move around and to be strong to do the things you need to do in daily life. Pick up the garbage, go out and work in the yard, whatever it might be. You've probably heard of functional fitness. Well, yoga really helps with functional fitness. You will get increased flexibility, especially in your spine. And if you think about it, your spine is your lifeline. That's where all the nerves come from. That's what regulates your heart, your breathing, your hormones, everything. So if you have a healthy spine, you're going to have a healthier body to begin with. So big lifeline. You'll have improved core strength, which your core is your back and your abdominal muscles. We work on that. You'll have improved balance to prevent falls And if you do take a fall, you will not get injured, or not get injured as badly. I've taken a few pretty bad falls down the stairs and survived without more than like a broken toe, never any terrible injuries, no broken hips or anything. You'll have improved breathing and increased lung capacity, because yoga is based on breathing. We want to get energy. It's a low impact way to exercise. So if you need to lose weight, it can help you with that. Improved heart and circulatory health. And that's another lifeline. You got to have your heart to keep going. So it helps with your nervous system, your circulatory system, everything just works better. Increased athletic performance. So if you are into sports or anything like that, a lot of athletes are doing yoga because it gets to places where other exercise modes really can't do anything for you. Stress management. You learn breathing and meditation techniques to help you handle your everyday stress. Helps to prevent or improve osteoporosis, because we are moving the joints and tightening the muscles around the joints. That really helps with bone health. Helps arthritis and back pain. A lot of doctors are now prescribing yoga for their patients with back pain. You get better sleep. Most of my students tell me that they sleep way better than they used to. Increases your energy. It promotes better self-care. Self-care is the big buzzword right now. Everybody talks about it. So yoga and all the other energy work, they're forms of self-care, just making yourself a better person. Also, you get to know yourself a little better when you're sitting in those poses for a while, and you start to learn what your body feels like and what's working and what isn't working very well. And with yoga, you can practice either by yourself, or you can practice in a supportive community. So for a lot of us, maybe we don't have a big group of friends or people that we can go to and rely on and kind of share the experience with. So with yoga, you can go either way. You can be by yourself, or, do it with other people. There's a lot of different forms of yoga, and there's forms that where people just sit in a room together and chant and breathe and meditate, all the way up to Ashtanga yoga or hot yoga, where it's very, very athletic, and you are going to be doing the handstands and all the fancy trick poses, and you're going to be doing them in a hot room, to kind of help your joints get lubricated. So there's a wide range of practices that you can do, that you can pick from. I teach gentle yoga, gentle hatha yoga, and hatha is kind of the basis for yoga. So if we have time later, I'll just kind of go through what one of my classes looks like, and so you can kind of figure out if it's something you might be interested in.
Pat, what's your observations of the similarities and differences between all these energy works?
To me, it's the one energy, it's like a lot of things in life, people like different things and do different things, and someone might like roller coasters, but another person is completely horrified by roller coasters. So there's one energy, and there's all these different ways to work with it. And so I always feel like, and that's why I do so many different things, because embrace all these different ways to transform energy. Like I'm also a Reiki master teacher and practitioner of Reiki, and I like chanting, and I like EFT tapping. I mean, there's so many different modalities and ways to work with energy. So I always feel like embrace the similarities.
What makes you like more than one? What do you get from doing all of those you're talking about, as opposed to
Well,
just sticking with?
Right. One of the things I think for me is how it works the brain. It's like Jeanette's cheese stick. That's pretty new to all of us. We probably hadn't even heard of it maybe a year ago. And so trying something new like that, to me, that's builds your concentration and works the brain, and also for me it's enjoyment. It's learning something new brings me joy. So for me, that's kind of what it is.
Jeanette, most of the people that take your stick class came from my Tai Chi class, basically, or Pat's class. How do your students perceive what you're doing in relation to the rest of this stuff?
Well, I guess they must find some benefit because the ones that I have are sticking to it. And I have a few friends outside of our community that, since I have my videos up, have been following them and practicing and really enjoy it. And I don't know if they ever would have done that if I hadn't sent them my video.
Mhm.
So I don't know if they're probably not as regular as I am, but they all have, told me about benefits they've received. And the thing about the portability, I mean, sure, you can do Tai Chi anywhere, but for me, I have to really concentrate to do Tai Chi. Um, I can do Qigong places that I am without thinking about it, but it's just so immediate to have the stick in your hands and move in a prescribed number of poses. And when you're done, you're done. And I mean, of course you can do more. And I totally recommend I do Qigong and Tai Chi and yoga also, but like I said, this is just my favorite. Get going. If I don't do anything else, if I do the stick, I feel like I'm okay for the day.
So, Karen, what do you think about the other energy practices and doing more than one form of energy work?
I think that energy work is kind of a universal thing. I mean, we all have energy. We all have the life force is all around us. It's inside of us. And any way that you can learn to manipulate that, to work with it, to make yourself better, that's just a wonderful thing. I don't think there's any possibility that you could do too much energy work or too many forms of energy work, because you're only doing that to make yourself better and to make the world better. Because when you do energy work, you're putting that energy out into the world, out to everyone. And a lot of times when we do our meditation and yoga, one of the things we're doing is sending out loving kindness energy to people. um, so I just think that, why not? What would be the reason not to? It's just a universal thing, and it's only going to put more good things out into the world. And right now, we sorely need that. We need it very badly for people to understand how to get along with each other, how to interact with each other, and how to make themselves better people, how to promote what I guess positive energy is probably the best way to say it. But we just need to put more of that out into the world.
By doing an energy practice, you are becoming part of this whole that's all of humanity, not just becoming part of it, but actually influencing it in a good way. So that's a really cool thing. Jeanette, what do you think about the repetition aspect of these practices? And do you think people find it difficult to jump in and continue doing things like this, which are really good for you, but people don't seem to take to it as much as they should. What do you think about all that?
Well, I think if they are inspired by the thought of doing it, if they can try it, even if they only did it, 3 days a week and started with 2 repetitions, like my friend that's 79, she only does 2 repetitions and she doesn't even do all of the exercises. She just does the ones that she's comfortable doing. And she's still moving in ways that she wouldn't move otherwise. And she's moving her spine and she's moving her arms and legs. And, she tends to sit a lot. She does take her dogs for a walk, but she said her back feels better from doing it, than before she was doing it. And if somebody that, is very, not doing a lot of exercise that can get improvement from 2 a day, I would say doing the 4 to start and working up to 8 is really ideal. But like I've said in my video, my class doesn't want to do more than 4, and that's okay. But if you do more, then you just get not just the energy, but it's almost like a calisthenic workout.
I just came across a video the last day or two about the 2 minute rule. If you want to start something, you need to turn it into a habit. And it won't become a habit if you make it a big production. Normally at the beginning, you're all excited about things and you want to go for it. And that I fall for that every single time. And then 3 or 4 days down the road, I get tired of it. I don't have that energy going for me, that momentum, and it just becomes too much. Well, the 2 minute rule says, like Jeanette was saying, do 2 repetitions instead of a bunch. 2 minute rule is do no more than 2 minutes of whatever you want to do. You can always find 2 minutes, no matter what. From that point forward, always 2 minutes. If you have to, you do it in the grocery line or whatever, but you always do 2 minutes every single day. You can make it a 3 minute rule after you've been doing it a while, because you'll become accustomed to 2 minutes and you'll want more. But whatever you set it at, make sure it's so low that you can't avoid it, that you can't make an excuse. So Karen, what do you think about continuing to do what you set out to do?
I tell my students all the time, people say, well, how many times should I come to yoga a week? Do I need to come 3 times? Do I need to come every day? No, you can come for 5 minutes. I tell people, even in the Zoom classes, if you just want to come in for the warm up or you want to wait until the end of class and come in for the meditation part of it, because maybe that's something that's really hard for you to do on your own, feel free. Any little bit of time you spend doing energy work is positive. There's nothing negative about it. Nothing. I couldn't find anything negative to say. And so my classes can kind of be broken down into different parts. So I tell people, okay, maybe just do 5 minutes of sun salutations a day, because that works the entire body. That's something we use as a warm up, but it works your entire body. So, if you don't have an hour to spend, you can do little tiny segments of whatever energy work you want to do and still get something out of it. So I the 2 minute rule is a good thing. So do something for 2 minutes. That's great. Or 3 or 5, whatever you have, but do it consistently, because if you don't do it consistently, you're never going to keep up with it. You're just going to let it go at some point.
Pat, you want to jump in on this?
Yeah, I think the only thing I would add is start where you are. I think one of the big things is just getting started for a lot of people, including myself. And I mean, I tried a lot of different things over the years, and Qigong is what stuck. And I think it stuck for me because I enjoyed it so much. It was fun. It made me feel better. It made me feel good. And you just have to start where you are and absolutely. A few minutes a day can change your day. It can change your energy. It can change everything. And the other thing I've done recently is put alarm in my phone for different things that I want to really get done, and that's been helping me too as far as exercise. And this is exercise, but it's also life. So we all need reminders about things in life. So put a little reminder in your phone.
So this stuff that we do, this energy work, it's maintenance for our body, our mind, and our spirit. All of our practices produce something similar. Describe some of the special rewards that your practice offers that you think is unique, Pat.
Uh, um, I feel the unique part of Qigong is the mind, emotions, body aspect to it, where we do warm up, we do breath work, we stretch, we have flows, which are the slow water like movements. We have standing postures and meditation. So it's kind of a all over kind of practice where you can you can do a short practice or a long practice. You can do 10 minutes with a warm up, stretch and flow, or you can do an hour to hour and a half with all 8 of those things. And 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 to me that makes it a little unique.
Tai Chi, the number one thing you get from it is balance, stability, physical balance. Tai Chi, that's its claim to fame. Most people that come to class, that's what they think they're going to get, partly because you're moving around all the time. You're stepping and you're twisting and you're turning. So the balance is the unique thing. And also, this movement that you're doing in Tai Chi, the moving around, moving the body weight, produces a special health benefit of eliminating osteoporosis and reversing it. So your bones actually get more dense from doing Tai Chi. They're actually findings from studies done by different hospitals and universities. So Tai Chi does a lot of things, but the best thing I would say is the balance. Jeanette?
It is also probably contributed to my balance, but I would say my overall flexibility has increased so much. And also my breathing. I mean, I don't have to think about breathing because I'm doing it. There's a certain way that you do it that's pretty obvious once you get going. And I think I breathe deeper now than I did before I started. Not that I wasn't breathing when I was doing Tai Chi and Qigong, but it just creates a better, process for me for that. And also the way it stretches your internal organs is really pretty amazing because you're doing all these spiral twists, and the longer you do it, the further you twist, and then you're going from backwards to forward and sideways and diagonal, and all those affect your center very much. And not that yoga doesn't do that, I know it does, but I don't like to get on the floor that much, honestly. I like something I can do standing up. And so I guess just flexibility and just generally feeling just more grounded, I think. And especially when I do it outside, and that's great. I carry my walking stick in the car for emergencies whenever, I feel like doing it somewhere outside, so I don't have to make a production about remembering to take my stick along. I just got a comment today on the last video that I did, and the guy said, "I'm so happy to know that I can use a belt and a cane for the stick practice." So get creative. It doesn't have to be a 6-foot pole.
It's pretty portable. All of us interchange between each other's classes, cross training our chi, our energy. And I firmly believe that doing that makes a huge difference. You feel differently about the energy.
Mhm.
Karen, what makes yoga unique?
I think that the word yoga, first of all, means to yoke or to unite. And what we're uniting with yoga is body, mind, and spirit. So making you the total package, giving you all of the aspects that you need to be healthy and to be more stress free and well. But I think the unique part of yoga, at least for me, is that in every class, and not all teachers do this. So I don't think you would ever walk into 2 yoga classes or 5 yoga classes and get the same thing out of all 5. I think that would be pretty near impossible. But anyways, to me, the most unique thing about it is that we meditate, formally meditate in each class. So that is the end. I call it yoga dessert because it's just such a nice way to end what you've just done, the work you've done, and it helps you to integrate everything else you've done, the breathing, the mind work, the body work, all together. And so in my classes, we do guided meditations. What that is I take you on a journey that gets all of your senses working, your sight, your smell, your ears, your touch, everything. So I take you on this journey for about 5 minutes or so, and it takes you out of your head, it takes you away, allows your mind to just have that calm and peace for a little while. And then I give you a couple of minutes on your own to just kind of integrate everything, to think about what you've done. And in the beginning of a yoga class, we always set an intention. So, it might be to send energy to a loved one who needs it, or it might be for something that you need yourself. It might be just sending out peace and energy to the world. And then at the end of class during meditation, we bring that back and we think about it and see where we are and how we're feeling. But to me, that's the unique part of yoga as an energy practice. I think all of our practices work on mind, body, spirit. There's no doubt that that's true. So if you're looking for something just that's different, that's would be my thing, is the meditation, the formal meditation. Well, I think that energy practice in general kind of opens you up to the world. It opens you up to new perspectives, to new ways of thinking. Um, I think we all kind of go through life in our heads and, you know, probably not doing things very mindfully. We just kind of go through the motions of work or exercise or whatever it might be. And that energy work kind of forces you to stop and think about what you're doing. I don't think you could have a good yoga class or Qigong or Tai Chi or stick class if your head isn't in the game, if you're not mindfully breathing, mindfully moving. And it, like I said, it's something that we just don't do on an everyday basis. So at least for that hour or whatever time you take to do it, you are completely focused on yourself and what you need and making yourself feel better and reaching out to other people or sending out that energy to other people, because we truly are one. We all are one. I know that that sounds really trite and you hear it a lot, but it's true. And not only people, animals, plants, everything, we are all connected. And there's no way around that, though some people will try to tell you that's not true, but we are. And what one person does affects another person or an animal or a tree or whatever. So we need to understand that. We need to get into that, delve into that part of ourselves, I think.
I love that. And
Absolutely.
you said the word that I was thinking. I wrote down connects to your aliveness, and that's exactly what you were saying.
Yeah.
And that connection that we all have to nature, to each other, and how these all of these practices can um, foster all of that type of work.
I think it makes
Yep.
you a more empathetic or compassionate person if you really start to think about how those connections go out. And I don't know, I guess I'm too much of a sensitive. I've always been told all my life I'm too sensitive. People are always saying that to me since I can remember, people talking to me at 2 or 3 years old. You're too sensitive. I've heard that day in and day out. But what's wrong with being sensitive to other people's
Yeah.
needs? And you know, I find that's my superpower for me. I don't know. Everybody's supposed to have a superpower. I think that's mine because I care.
Hmm.
Energy work is many and varied. We have lots to choose from. I don't think it matters at all which one people choose. It will help people connect to the universal we. If they're doing energy work, they're doing something positive instead of something negative. Jeanette?
I'd say, find what works for you and try to be regular doing it, because you can do it, once a week. You'll still be getting a benefit, but once a week isn't enough. And once a month certainly isn't. And I find now too, and I know part of it's Tai Chi and the energy workout we've been doing, but I can stand for so much longer. But part of it is actually it was the stick that did it. I had really tight hamstrings for years, and I would do different things to try to get rid of it, but it was really the stick practice that got my legs loosened up. And now I just don't have that pain anymore. And it's such a relief. I mean, I'm thinking about even last year when I'd only been doing it for under a year. um I still had some of that tightness, but not like 2 years ago where it was just like, every time I went into a big grocery store or something, it was like, oh gosh, my legs are killing me. Now they're
Yep.
not, and I'm older.
I was just going to add that, we're talking about all of this and we can talk about it a lot, but get out and try it. I always tell people just try just a few minutes and experience what it is to feel that aliveness of your energy, of your chi.
All of us will give uh, people a chance to come into your class for nothing and try it
Mhm.
out.
Yeah.
So they're not out anything.
And I tell people, don't try one class, try a few, because if you're starting something new, you're confused. There's all these new words being thrown at you, and it's
Mhm.
overwhelming. I mean, I can't even imagine what it's like to walk in never having done anything like this before
Yeah.
and just do it once, and you're going to say, I can't, there's no way I can do that. So I tell people to at least try 3 classes before they give up on it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good tip for sure, because yeah, one class is never enough because
Not
it's
good.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
When I tried to learn my thing, I mean, I was doing it from watching videos and took me months to get to where I could do all the exercises.
It is said that you are what you do, you become what you think. So why not do something that's really positive and fantastic for yourself? Tai Chi, Qigong, Tai Chi stick, yoga, meditation. All of these are things that will bring us in a positive direction. Pick one, get comfortable with it, and maybe add another if it feels right, sounds interesting to you. Or you can just take one and perfect it, polish the stone, or you could do a variety of things to keep life interesting. Whichever you choose to do, rest assured you will see a significant improvement in how you feel and your quality of life. Many thanks to our guest, Karen Pavanelli of Body Language Yoga, Jeanette Jennings, Tai Chi Stick, Pat Jones, Emerald and Sand Qigong. I'm Gary Pavanelli, Black Cat Tai Chi. We're all Black Cat Energy Channel partners. We have many classes on Zoom, and it doesn't matter where you live when you're on Zoom. The difference between videos and real-time interactive Zoom classes is amazing. We can shape our teaching to the people in the class. You get answers to your specific questions. You don't have to get prepped and drive somewhere, go out in the weather, and it's fun. It's just like social media, except on steroids. Up close, personal, real time. You can talk with your instructor, socialize with the other students. Email us at blackcatenergy@maddogmusic.com. Specify which instructor you would like to talk with. Provide us your name, city, and email address, and we will get back to you soon. Like and subscribe to the video. Thanks for joining us. Subscribe for more videos like this one.